This is going to be a quick video talking about this newly released image of our home planet, allegedly from Artemis 2. Of course, I don't believe we live on a spinny space ball in outer space. I think all of this outer space footage is straight out of Hollywood. It's photo manipulation and nothing new. People have been doing photo manipulation since the Victorian era. Go look into it. And uh, let's just talk about the main issues with this image. And there's really one main issue, in my opinion, and that's it's just different. And you see this sometimes with other things like gorilla suits, although those have always been really good. But same thing with their practical effects have always been really good. And artists have always been really good at being able to make lifelike things. Right? How long have painters existed that can paint really amazing portraits? Well, you can make amazing looking sci-fi images too. I've seen some pretty cool looking outer space art made from spray paint and people on the street. So the main issue is that it changes over time. What we have now, because of just where we live, things are different. Now we have backlogs of alleged ISS live streams where the ozone, or our atmosphere, is allegedly glowing all these bright colors. So now you see they kind of throw that into it. Oh, we got the bright glowing green over there, and oh, we got some shine in the... This is new. This is all very new. And I guess people might have different excuses. What else is new? All the stars in the background. Whoa, they figured it out now. Even though people are always making every excuse for NASA. Like, if you're able to get to the moon, then I'm sure you can understand different exposure settings and all that. But the point is the inconsistency. So did they just figure it out now all of a sudden? Now we know how to get stars in the background? But then also this clear ozone effect that they give. They really mark the alleged atmosphere of Earth in ways that they never used to. So that's it. What do you guys think of this? Do you think this is real life? There's just so many things wrong with this that are so different than all of the previous artistic renditions, and that's what's happening here. These are all artistic renditions of a concept. This isn't a real life photograph. Just like none of the blue marble images have ever been anything other than art. It's not a photo. So that's what daytime looks like from space. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but there's clear problems with the lighting in this too. Because, this is supposed to be backlit, right? To get this effect with the alleged ozone like that. What even is this? The orange smudginess right here. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. They claim it's high res, but you can tell that it's just not. Well, I guess you can cheat high res. You can take an image that doesn't have a lot of detail and blow it up to high resolution. That doesn't create detail where detail didn't used to exist, I guess is the point. High res, sure, but grainy as hell. All details disappear. Yep. So how not perfectly round is the Earth? Of course, you gotta sort by controversial to see any interesting opinion. Yeah, that looks like a perfect circle to me. Where's Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about, well, actually, it's pear-shaped? What? So they just don't do that. And that's where you go back to the art thing. There's this kind of disconnect between art and science. The science people get to be, I don't know, more cerebral about it. Actually, if we actually do the physics, but the PR team, the image that goes to the public needs to look a certain way. If they actually presented something that looked like a pear, because we're so used to the type of imagery we've been given over and over and over again of this perfect sphere, it just wouldn't sit right. So even when NASA is making up their images, they don't listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson. They just got to do their prototypical perfect ball. Anyways, so how not perfectly round is the Earth? Yeah, I thought it's supposed to be like a pear or something. Where's the bulge at the center? Earth isn't supposed to be the perfect circle, right? I want to see the metadata. This is a Brighton nighttime picture. The lighting's weird. Yeah, the lighting doesn't make any sense, but like I said, hey, they're going to claim that they're so smart that they figured out how to get the stars in the background now. They don't have that problem. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, the reason that they didn't even try back in the NASA heyday of 1969 era type NASA stuff, they just didn't even want to try to think about trying to make the stars right. And who's to say that the stars here in this picture are even right? It's probably a bunch of BS. Because, right, that's, if somebody really took the time, did the math, you should be able to pinpoint where these stars should be. And nowadays, we just have the math modeling systems that are up and running that would be a lot easier to do than back in the day. They didn't want to have to figure out, well, where are these stars supposed to be? So I think that's why they just left the stars out. And then they just start having these weird excuses. But it's like, hey, if you're able to go to the moon, shouldn't you understand basic photography? Am I being stupid, or can you see the atmosphere layer of the Earth in the picture like a bubble? Yeah, this is just, it's different now. They're going to make ball Earth things different now. And they'll just say, well, our cameras are capturing stuff that they didn't used to capture. That's going to be their excuse. It's easy to come up with excuses for everything. Like, I could have a job where all I do is come up with excuses for things. And it's not hard to come up with excuses. That's how many people really have a hard time understanding. Just because somebody has some explanation, they can just explain it away. That's actually not proof of anything. To have some excuse factory making excuses whenever somebody has a question. To be honest, I don't love it, and I can't yet articulate why. It's because there is a part of you that knows that this is bullshit. Even if you're not brave enough yet, there's a part of you that knows that this is all a bunch of bullshit. I know it's amazing, but it feels like a shitty picture somehow, because it is a shitty picture. It's grainy, low res, looks like crap. It's different all of a sudden. Like, we have these iconic blue marble images in our mind that are just different. And this is like, you know how nothing's the same anymore. The nostalgia has lost its magic. Things are new and shiny and don't taste as good anymore. It's like the Butterfinger that sucks nowadays. The pictures out of NASA just suck nowadays. The magic isn't there anymore. It doesn't hit you the same. Maybe we're not the target audience anymore. I don't know. But that's what I feel when I read this comment. It's the same reason why a Butterfinger doesn't taste the same anymore. Why is New Zealand missing? Flat Earthers would say this is a fake image. I mean, yeah. Why is that a bad argument? What's your proof that it's a real image? Like, doesn't logic just dictate that this image has probably had a lot of post-processing done? Do you really think that this is like a candid snapshot? Or do you think that this has been a doctored, controlled operation? I mean, I guess that's, people are just really trusting of the government and really gullible. And that's, like, in their arguments all hinge off of that. Why would they lie? They would never lie to you. Because they have no more reason to think that it's real than I would have to doubt them. Like, what proof do you have that this is real? So why do you not like my opinion? Because I don't believe it? They're just mad that there's free thinkers out there that don't buy into the same BS as they do, and then they think that they're super smart for denying God and all that. Anyways, they're lost. Pray that they get this spiritual discernment. And I used to be the same way. It's this wanting to be thought of as smart and have the right answer is not good. It's not good, and it leaves your spiritual component very absent in your being. That's how I used to be. I used to think, yeah, I used to totally be this type of person, and that really was my issue, is that I wanted to come off as smart and have the right answer more so than pursuing truth. The atmosphere in the west is illuminated by the sun from a zodiacal light. The sun is behind the earth, which means the whole picture is illuminated by moon glow. No, it's illuminated by Photoshop. When I see it like this, I can help but think about all that pressure the internal... This was actually an interesting thing. All the pressure the internal rock must be under. You never really think about the internal volume of the planet. Yeah, the Bible talks about the pillars of the earth. Just like impressive temples are held up by pillars, and impressive buildings are held up by pillars, the Bible talks about the earth being held up by pillars. That must be some really great low light, because you can see the sun is on the far side of the planet here, and city lights are on across Africa and Spain. Were there city lights? I couldn't really tell. Africa and Spain. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be able to see city lights from outer space like this. Anyways, this image is clearly a bunch of bullshit. The lighting doesn't make sense. The fact it's so different, is this what it's going to look like from now on? All of our outer space images are going to have ozone flashing, and we're going to have the green aurora all the time? Is this the new normal? It's the new recipe of the Reese's and the Butterfinger. We got the new modus, the new, what do you call it? Paradigm. This is the new Ball Earth paradigm. These pictures blow my mind. I'm the guy at the party saying, people, do you ever think about how outer space isn't just above the clouds? It's all around us. It's not just up. We live in outer space. We're floating around right now. Everyone laughs, but I'm completely serious. Part of us know it's a bunch of bullshit, and you're probably around some people who know that Earth is flat, and they're laughing at how duped you are about stuff. I remember, like, geeking out about some stuff like this, and I could feel certain individuals around me biting their tongue. And back then I didn't understand what it was, but now I know that they knew I was duped, and they were just like holding it in, that they knew I was being stupid about, oh, we're all stardust, guys. Oh. And now I know why I felt weird, because they knew that this wasn't real and that I was being stupid, geeking out about stupid stuff. Everyone laughs, but I was completely serious. How isn't that a thing on our minds at all times? Because we can tell it's not the truth. Like, just see how everything here is that this guy is trying to force a fantasy onto things that don't make sense. We as humans intrinsically know that the heavens are above us and not below us really far away. We just know that. We intrinsically have that, and we have to keep convincing ourselves of this false spaceball reality. So that's why I really like this comment. One, because I used to be this geek, and it reminds me of the story where I could tell somebody was being weird. And number two, it shows that we intrinsically know the truth about this place. And we have to convince ourselves of this ball fantasy. Probably stupid, but anyway, if the Earth in this picture is eclipsing the sun, then why is the daylight side visible at all? Do they mean the nighttime side? Sunlight is clearly on the side facing the viewer, so the sun must be behind the viewer to illuminate the Earth. The auroras would be sunlight bouncing around the thin atmosphere and reflecting back at the viewer. No conspiracies needed. Just curious about the explanation for the picture. So this could be one of two things. Some people, they think that the best way to make arguments to bring people to the truth is to be, open-minded about that. That's just not I'm willing to call out bullshit, and to say, yeah, nothing wrong with being a conspiracy theorist. Some people take the approach of, well, you're going to scare away people. So, one, this could be a free thinker who they take a soft approach. Not trying to start drama here, guys. I'm not like a tin foil wearing person, but doesn't this make you scratch your head? Could be that they don't let themselves go there, that they have the pieces forming, but they don't let themselves have certain thoughts. Thought police, the biggest thought police is yourself. That's the way the Matrix works. I guess that's part of the 1984 and the Matrix. That, I mean, I guess the Matrix kind of gets into it, that it's like all in your head sort of thing, and that like there is no spoon. If you know the truth, you can bend it yourself. Like, but 1984 doesn't really get into the thing of how the thought police is most oftentimes yourself and like the people in your life around you that you directly interact with. It's not this big outside scary thing. It's this thing that's all around you, and that's probably yourself too. A lot of people, we police our own thoughts. Oh, that's too scary. I don't want to be seen as a conspiracy theorist, so I can't even have this thought. And that really stops a lot of people from finding a lot of truths. And I guess that's why I feel blessed to have, I feel like my ADD really helped me with conspiracy stuff, because you get good at following trains of thoughts without having to be married to an idea. And a lot of people, they cut their thoughts off. A lot of people get really scared of their own thoughts and they stop themselves. And I think that actually a lot of Christians are that way too, where a lot of Christians, I feel like they whitewash the whole world, and they have this very like whitewashed idea of the world. And that's the same reason, oh, how could you be a conspiracy theorist? They don't think that like evil could work on grand scales, on big biblical scales. And people are the same way with their thoughts. Some things are just too scary. You know, some people, they can't think about the devil, and they can't think about demons, and some people can't bear the thought of a damnation being an option for certain people. That doesn't mean it's not true, though, just because it's a scary thought. And same thing with conspiracies. You see people policing their own thoughts all the time. So I don't know. One of two things. This is somebody policing their own thoughts, or maybe they know it's BS and they're trying to softball, like make a good argument. I don't care about making good arguments anymore, or like scaring people off. I just have to say my opinion. That's what my channel is all about. I think everybody should have freedom of thought and say their own thoughts about things and not get butthurt over opinions. Well, here's the way it used to be. It's not going to be like that anymore. Now we got to put the glowy ozone in there. It's got to match the ISS live stream era. We're in a new era. I'm done rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless everyone.